a deep abyss of mysteries in the fabric of religious history. Imagine a text so enigmatic that it was banished from the biblical canon, kept in the shadows, yet simultaneously attracting scholars and curious minds throughout the centuries. This enigmatic work, the Book of Enoch, reveals secrets of the heavens, the story of the fallen angels, and apocalyptic visions that continue to disturb and captivate. But what is it about this book that both frightens and fascinates? The fascination and historical importance of the Book of Enoch. The Book of Enoch, an ancient text dated approximately between the 3rd century BC and the 1st century AD, is one of the most controversial and enigmatic documents in all of religious history. Considered apocryphal by various religious traditions, its exclusion from the biblical canon may have occurred due to a combination of theological, political, and even social factors. But instead of diminishing its influence, this exclusion only increased the mystery surrounding the book, making it an object of study, fascination, and speculation for centuries, especially due to its unique content, often challenging the theology of the time. The Book of Enoch is not merely a narrative about Enoch, the 7th patriarch in the lineage of Adam, but rather a complex collection of texts ranging from cosmology to apocalyptic prophecies. In its pages, we find an alternative, sometimes disturbing, vision of creation, the fall of the angels, and the destiny of humanity. Far from being a simple complement to biblical texts, the Book of Enoch is a multifaceted narrative that challenges the reader to contemplate the secrets of the universe and the afterlife. Its vivid descriptions of angels, demons, cosmic catastrophes, and celestial realms not only illustrate ancient imagination, but also reveal a sophisticated reflection on good, evil, and the purpose of human existence. The historical importance of Enoch is revealed, especially through its approach to theology and cosmology. By situating Enoch as a character of great spiritual power, almost as a prophet who dialogues with the divine, the book gives voice to a patriarch who, in the Bible, had a brief and mysterious appearance. According to the book of Genesis, Enoch walked with God and was elevated to heaven without experiencing death, which already suggested his spiritual importance. However, in the Book of Enoch, he becomes a central figure, an emissary of divine wisdom and a model of moral virtue. This expansion of the figure of Enoch highlights the influence and impact that this character had on religious imagination, serving as an intermediary between the earthly and divine worlds. The complexity of the Book of Enoch makes it a text that transcends the barriers of time, engaging with generations and challenging its readers to explore a deeper understanding of spirituality. It stimulates critical thinking about the limits of knowledge and the purpose of humanity, offering rich and detailed visions that strongly contrast with the traditional representations of biblical themes. The constant presence of mystery, the supernatural, and divine power suggests that the search for answers is in itself a spiritual journey. The figure of Enoch, between history and legend. The figure of Enoch, a patriarch described in the book of Genesis, is portrayed briefly but enigmatically in the sacred scriptures. In biblical tradition, Enoch is remembered as a righteous man, someone who walked with God and who was taken up to heaven without experiencing death. This brief description, however, takes on a new dimension in the Book of Enoch, where the character assumes the role of prophet, visionary, and divine spokesperson. He becomes a key figure, someone who not only witnesses supernatural events, but also actively participates in them. The Book of Enoch expands the story of this patriarch by transforming him into a character of extreme theological importance. Here, Enoch is portrayed as a wise man and prophet who receives revelations about the mysteries of the universe, creation, and the ultimate destiny of humanity. The text reveals a complex worldview where Enoch, an ordinary man, is elevated to the condition of intermediary between God and human beings, a role that challenges the traditional norms of the divine hierarchy. This transformation is fascinating because it reveals the plasticity of religious narratives and how historical figures can evolve to meet the spiritual and cultural needs of their time. In the case of Enoch, he becomes an example of what can be achieved through faith and righteousness. Enoch's ascension to heaven is not merely a miraculous event, but a symbol of the human potential to achieve divine proximity. Enoch becomes a kind of prototype, suggesting that true communication with the divine is not limited to specific figures, but can extend to any righteous and devout individual, regardless of their social status. Throughout the Book of Enoch, his figure serves as a point of contact between heaven and earth, a guide that illuminates the complex web of relationships between the divine and the earthly. This characteristic offers an innovative perspective on the interaction between man and the sacred, as it suggests that revelations are not exclusive to established religious figures, but that virtue and faith can open the doors to the unknown and the spiritual. This narrative reiterates the capacity for evolution and adaptation of oral and written traditions, transforming Enoch into an eternal icon and an inspiration for spiritual seeking. The Fall of the Watchers, an act of celestial transgression. One of the central and most impactful themes of the Book of Enoch is the narrative of the fall of the Watchers. These angelic beings, charged with watching over humanity, abandon their divine mission by engaging with human women. This act of transgression, a mixture of carnal desire and celestial disobedience, brings disastrous consequences, disrupting cosmic harmony and unleashing a series of catastrophic events for humanity. The description of the Watchers and their actions offers a complex view of angelic nature. The narrative suggests that even celestial beings, endowed with superior powers and knowledge, are not exempt from moral failings. By succumbing to temptation and desire, the Watchers become an example of the devastating impact that corruption can have, challenging the idea that celestial beings are inherently good and immune to transgression. The consequences of this act are severe. The birth of the Nephilim, gigantic and violent creatures that sow chaos and destruction on earth. Described as beings of supernatural strength, the Nephilim represent a threat to social and spiritual order. Their actions are a somber reminder that divine corruption is not something restricted to the human realm, but that it can also corrupt the heavens. Enochian cosmogony, an alternative vision of the universe. The Book of Enoch not only narrates mystical events, it proposes a completely alternative cosmic structure, offering its own cosmogony that contrasts with the more familiar descriptions of the Hebrew Bible. In this Enochian universe, the cosmos is multidimensional and complex, with various orders of celestial beings, including angels, archangels, and supernatural entities. Each of these orders has its hierarchy and function, giving the cosmos a depth that goes far beyond the more linear representations found in traditional scriptures. The Enochian cosmogony reveals a profound understanding of the universe as an ordered place inhabited by forces and entities that govern the different spheres of existence. In the Book of Enoch, the descriptions of heavens and hells, of celestial realms and the creatures that inhabit them, create a rich and multifaceted image of the cosmos. These realms are described with vibrant and mysterious details, almost like a supernatural landscape that captures the vastness and complexity of divine creation. This unique vision of the cosmos represents an attempt to understand the cosmic order and humanity's place within this vast scenario. The way the Book of Enoch describes the universe and its inhabitants reflects a deep desire for knowledge and control over the mysteries of the divine, an echo of humanity's quest for wisdom and transcendence. The Enochian cosmology transforms creation into a dynamic stage where the divine and the earthly interact constantly and intimately. This cosmogony shows us that, for the ancients, the universe was not simply a series of random events, but a carefully organized system where every entity, from angels to human souls, had a role to play. The Book of Enoch invites us to question our own position in the universe and to consider that creation may be much more than we perceive. The Enochian vision of the cosmos, both rich and intriguing, challenges our own concepts of reality, reminding us that the full understanding of celestial mysteries may be beyond our comprehension. Exclusion from the biblical canon, reasons and consequences. The exclusion of the Book of Enoch from the biblical canon is one of the historical mysteries that challenges our understanding of the formation of the sacred scriptures. The decision not to include it among the canonical texts was influenced by a series of factors, from theological divergences to political and social considerations. Enochian cosmology and theology are distinct from conventional biblical doctrines, and the book's content with its narrative of fallen angels and giant creatures, may have been considered inappropriate or disturbing by some religious leaders. One of the main factors that likely influenced this exclusion was the divergent theological content of the Book of Enoch. The narrative of the fall of the Watchers, for example, suggests that celestial beings can fall into disgrace and become corrupt, an idea that could contrast with the vision of angels as incorruptible servants of God. In addition, the description of the Nephilim and the violence they bring to the human world may have been seen as too graphic to integrate into the sacred canon. Another aspect that contributed to its exclusion was the lack of clarity about the authorship of the Book of Enoch. The tradition of attributing the text to the patriarch Enoch was not enough to guarantee its inclusion, especially in a context where the authenticity and origin of the texts were crucial for their canonical acceptance. This historical and political context played a fundamental role in the decision, as religious authorities sought a selection of texts that reflected a cohesive vision of faith and that could serve as a basis for the unity of the faithful. The exclusion of the Book of Enoch, however, did not prevent its influence. On the contrary, it continued to inspire theologians, mystics, and writers who saw it as a source of wisdom and revelation. Its persistent impact on religious and philosophical thought proves that its exclusion from the canon did not diminish its spiritual and intellectual value, becoming a symbol of the richness and diversity of religious tradition. The lasting influence of the Book of Enoch. Even as an apocryphal text, the Book of Enoch exerted a profound influence on various religious and literary traditions. Its unique vision of the universe, good and evil, justice and punishment, continues to reverberate in the imagination of scholars and readers. Many of the Enochian themes, especially the narrative of the Watchers and the Final Judgment, were incorporated into other religious works, highlighting Enoch's lasting impact on religious thought. In early Christianity, the Book of Enoch was revered and read by communities that saw in its words an extension of the sacred scriptures. Even after its exclusion from the canon, its ideas continued to shape Christian theology and spirituality. Enochian themes can be found in the writings of influential figures who quoted and interpreted their visions. In Judaism, the Book of Enoch contributed to the formation of a rich and detailed apocalyptic literature, which inspired alternative views on the destiny of humanity and the role of the divine in the end times. Its influence also extends beyond religious boundaries, reaching literature, cinema, and other forms of cultural expression. Today, the Book of Enoch is a treasure trove of ancient mysteries, attracting the curiosity of those who seek to understand the origins of our conception of good, evil, and the unknown. Its power to fascinate and provoke reflection shows that, even after millennia of its creation, the Book of Enoch continues to inspire and challenge generations. If this universe of mysteries intrigued you, like, comment, and subscribe to explore even more the secrets of forgotten traditions and the apocryphal texts that shaped our spiritual history.